Hello and welcome to FPL Mate, your best mate for fantasy Premier League content for the 2021-22 season. My name is Dan and today we have got for you the Game Week 37 team selection video, the second to last team selection video of the season. Guys, I can't lie to you, Game Week 36 for me was not good, very not good. We are going to speak about that in a minute, but I'm just going to pre-warn you guys that the title challenge is probably off by now, so yeah, it is what it is. But guys, if you do enjoy this video, please do leave a like, please do subscribe if you're new around here, and let's just have a look at something very quickly before we show the scores from Game Week 36, which were just terrible. Just bear with me. So my picks in Game Week 36 might have not been brilliant, but guys, if you're looking for the top pick for web safety and anonymity, today's video is sponsored by Surfshark, a VPN service that keeps your identity safe online, which is more important now more than ever, just because you want to keep your FPL account safe from hackers and scammers. It's basically like installing 3 premium defenders to your PC or mobile phone. But not only this, Surfshark allows you to browse the internet as if you were in a different country. If you don't have access to certain football channels or networks in your country, no problem, set your location to somewhere else using Surfshark and you can now access it. Maybe you want to watch Match of the Day or Sky Go from on holiday and it's not working, or you're getting that annoying this content is unavailable in your country message. Again, you can switch up country to somewhere else. But here is my favorite feature. If you've watched everything on Netflix and you want to unlock all of the content on USA Netflix, for example, you can easily do so. You can switch countries faster than I can switch Chris Wood out of my FPL team. Protect your identity, be safe online, and access web content around the world wherever you are, and you can now get 83% off and 3 months extra for free. Just use promo code FPL Mate, all one word, to get this offer, or you can simply click the link in the description. It really helps support the channel, and you get a great service for a heavily discounted price as well. And if you somehow don't like it, there is a 30-day money back guarantee as well, so everyone wins. Alright, I've been putting this off for long enough. Let's have a look at my Game Week 36 scores. Yeah, here they are. It's a total score of 86. That is not good. That is really not good. I'm not too downbeat about it. I'm not as downbeat as I could be, just because I knew that it was going to be a very bad game week for me. I've learned for a while now. It's been coming. Like at the beginning of the game week, it was going very badly immediately, and it just got worse and worse and worse. Slightly picked up at the end when Son obviously got those FPL points at the end there. But overall, I kind of come to terms with the fact that this would be a very bad game week for me. It just seems like, all of the big hitting players that I have, Alexander Arnold, Robertson, Salah captain as well, all blanking, Saka blanking as well, Matty Cash obviously blanked there, Kulusevski blanked in both games as well. It just did not go my way at all at any given point, and it's a weird one. And I have to be fair, I have seen scores a lot lower than this, and I really feel for those people. But this game week 36, it's kind of been universally accepted as one of the most, or if not the most punishing, most swingy game weeks of all time in FPL history. We have seen players, really good FPL managers with really good teams kind of score in the region of like 60 points. And we've seen other good managers score in the region of 180 points. Between two good managers, good FPL managers with good FPL teams, there shouldn't be an 120 point difference between the best and the worst. That is just such an extraordinarily big point swing. It really is crazy, and it pretty much boils down to what chips you used. If you had KDB in your team, I didn't do either of those things, unfortunately. But like I say, I'm not complaining. Obviously, the title challenge is off. I thought my rank decrease was going to be a lot worse than it actually was. So, in a way, what I did, I intentionally didn't check my rank the entire game week. I didn't check my live rank. I didn't want to see if I was going up or down. I didn't want to see it because I knew it was a red arrow. So, I kind of had got into my head that I was going to have a rank of around 200th, 250th. That is what I expected. So, when I eventually checked my rank this morning, to see 68, I was actually kind of like, okay, that could have been far worse. The top 100 is still very much on. And at the end of the day, guys, I'm not looking for any sympathy whatsoever. I've made my big rank swings. I've got some nice green arrows using my chips in previous game weeks, and people who use their chips in Game Week 36 have caught up. And that's absolutely fine. That's exactly what I was expecting. I was never expecting to get a green arrow in Game Week 36 anyway. It is what it is. And at the end of the day, I'm still in the top 100 in the world. I can't feel sorry for myself. It's an amazing position, and I'm so fortunate that I'm basically in a position now where I can't lose. Whatever happens now is going to be an incredibly memorable season. First place is not going to happen anymore. That's unfortunate, but like, there's more to FPL than just trying to get first place. I mean, to get our top 100, to get top 1,000, even to get a top 10,000 would be absolutely incredible. So spirits are high. A lot of pressure is actually off me now. And yeah, I'm just going to maybe try and have a little bit of fun with it for the last couple of game weeks and just see what happens. Because like I say, I'm pretty much guaranteed a top 1,000 finish at this point, unless I do something really stupid. So, you know, I can't really lose at this point. So it's an amazing situation to be in. And I'm just very, very grateful, despite the fact that I've obviously got quite a significant red arrow there. But, you know, it is what it is. It's one of those things, and you gotta laugh, you gotta enjoy it. And I'm still enjoying FPL at the end of the day, even though it was a difficult game week for me and perhaps for a lot of you guys as well. But yeah, massive congratulations to those of you who had a good game week. Unfortunately, I can't say the same about myself, but there we go. Let's have a look at see how I'm going to set up for game week 37, the second to last game week of the season. Alrighty then, here we go. This is what I'm hoping to do for game week 37. I've got one free transfer. I've got a tiny little bit of money in the bank just in case I did want to make a move. Let's just set us up, and then I'll go through some different transfer strategies I could potentially employ. So let's start off in goal. We have got the double game week goalkeeper, Kasper Schmeichel. Double goalkeeper. That would be pretty good to have two goalkeepers in one. I mean, they probably still score more than the forwards, wouldn't they? But yeah, we've got the double game week goalkeeper Schmeichel. Watford away and Chelsea away. I think that Watford game is one we're certainly going to be targeting for a clean sheet there. Chelsea game away is a little bit, you know, it's less likely, but maybe we can get some save points from Schmeichel in that second game. But overall, to have a double game week goalkeeper is very good. I don't think Schmeichel is the best double game week goalkeeper. I'd actually slightly prefer Pickford if I had a choice, but I'm not on a free hit or anything like that, so I don't have a choice, and I've got to be pretty happy to have Schmeichel. I mean, he did quite well last game week. We got some points off him there, and hopefully we're going to get some points off him again this game week. Into defence, we've got Trent Alexander-Arnold against Southampton. 2 blanks last game week, which is just, I mean, extraordinary, unheard of. I can't believe Trent blanked in both of those games. But we've got a game here against a very leaky Southampton team. This Southampton team almost seems like they're on the beach right now. They seem like they're just going to concede goals at the moment. So I'm not really expecting Southampton to put much of a fight up against a Liverpool team that, I don't know, I feel like there's still got to be motivation in the Liverpool camp that they have got a chance of winning the Premier League. I know a lot of Liverpool fans are not feeling very optimistic right now, but the players are there to do a job, and after that they won at Aston Villa. You know, with the slightly weaker team, I think that is the resting done now, and hopefully they're just going to play their first team and try and go for the victory in the Premier League, and that's going to take the qualities of Trent Alexander-Arnold, you know, one of the best FPL assets of all time in terms of defenders. So he's got a really good game. I think it could be a clean sheet. You know, Southampton are just not really scoring goals at the moment, other than the occasional Ward-Prowse free kick. And aside from that, attacking returns must come from Liverpool. I can honestly see them winning sort of 4-0, 5-0. That the attack that Liverpool have is good enough for that, and they are going to have their fullbacks involved. So it'll be Alexander-Arnold on one side, and on the other side, yeah, it's Trent Alexander-Robertson. No, it's Andy Robertson. He is on the other side, and I think he's going to do just as well, if not better, than Trent. I've just been really enjoying Robertson as an FPL asset recently, aside from last game week, where for some reason, well, he blanked in one and then got rested in the other, which was really, really frustrating. He didn't even come off the bench. He wasn't even on the bench in the second fixture. But hopefully, that's going to mean that Robertson is just fresh and ready to play every game for the rest of the season. There's only 2 games left for Liverpool. Hopefully, I think Robertson should play both of those games. I don't see why he wouldn't. And hopefully, he's going to be able to bring his typical attacking quality, maybe score the odd goal. You never know, it can happen. Let's see what happens there. But I'm feeling pretty positive, actually, about Alexander-Arnold and Robertson at the moment. I think this could be a really good fixture for both of them. I'm expecting clean sheets, and I'm expecting goal returns from both of them as well. So could be like 10 pointers for each of those players, even though they're on a single game week. So exciting stuff indeed. We've got Cancelo against West Ham. I'm not sure what the situation is going to be in terms of the City defence at the moment. They've got some injuries, obviously, haven't they? But Cancelo is certainly going to be playing, and you know, West Ham can pose a bit of a threat. I don't know. I can't really call this game. I know a lot of people are seeming to think that Man City, after their last couple of results, are going to go to West Ham and absolutely batter them. But I don't see why that would be the case. West Ham are a pretty good football team. They are, as the fans like to say, massive. So, you know, I don't know if this is going to be a battering. I don't know if City even really need to score a lot of goals. I mean, I feel like they could potentially just go back to their tactics, their more pragmatic tactic that they were going for before, where they just try try and win by 1 or 2 goals just to secure the result. Defensively sound, not trying to overexert themselves and score too many goals, just because they've got the good goal difference now, and basically they just need to grind out 2 wins and they win the Premier League, and that's all that they can really aim for between now and the end of the season. That's all they've got going for them, as if that's a bad thing to have going for them. But no, that's their one and only priority right now for City. So yeah, could be a decent result, but I'm not expecting an absolute dominant display from City in that game. And finally, we've got Matty Cash in defence, and this is one I'm actually quite excited about. I was kind of disappointed for 2 blanks last game week, particularly that first one, seeing my friend Maxwell Cornet score against Cash in the 90th minute to wipe out the clean sheet that Matty Cash had very, very earned himself all through that game, to have it wiped at the last second. Really frustrating through Maxwell Cornet. So yeah, I was disappointed with a blank last game week. But aside from that, I think he's been doing just fine. He's taken a couple of shots in some dangerous areas as well, which is exactly kind of what I wanted to see. It's why I wanted Cash. I want him to take those shots. I want him to get an odd random goal from the shooting opportunities that he has. So in these 2 home games against Crystal Palace and Burnley, I think clean sheets are very much on. I think if they came close to a clean sheet away at Burnley last time, at home to Burnley, that should hopefully be a clean sheet there. Crystal Palace at home, not really sure what's going to happen there, to be honest. Crystal Palace are a good side, but typically perform worse when they play away from home, and they will be playing away from home. So maybe that's a good game as well. I can imagine the potential for 2 clean sheets, and I can definitely imagine the potential for some goal returns as well. I just want Cash to score a goal for us. That would be wicked, wouldn't it? In midfield, we've got Salah. What can we say about Salah? It's not going too well. I mean, that last game week, I think for many of us, will be the final straw for Salah. I'm not sure. This fixture is just so good that I feel it's kind of difficult for me to say I want to sell Salah, just because I just love that fixture so much. I think it's just a phenomenal fixture. So I'm tempted to keep Salah, but I'm also tempted to sell him and go differential and do something a little bit crazy. But it's a really good fixture. And like I say, I do think Liverpool will go there and score 3 or 4 goals. I mean, it's one of those games where it could be even more. It could be a 5 or something like that. You never know. It could really genuinely happen. And Salah, with him having that rest last game week, I mean, hopefully it was a rest and not he's not just been dropped. Hopefully it is just a rest. Hopefully it could be a pretty good score for him. It could be a pretty good, you can imagine him getting a 10-pointer in that game. I mean, if you asked us a few months ago, what is Salah going to get in this game, you would say, he could easily get a 15-pointer. So it's a really good fixture, and I would want to be invested in that Liverpool attack, and I am. I've got Salah, so maybe we'll just stick with him, to be honest. We've got Heung-min Son, a player who aside from the fact that he absolutely obliterated Arsenal, my team, he's just a phenomenal player. Of more returns, more goal returns yesterday. More goal returns the game before that when he scored against Liverpool as well. Goal returns the game before that. He's just on such good form, and he has genuinely got a chance of winning the Golden Boot this season. So he will be on it for these last 2 games of the season. Burnley at home is a very nice fixture. I've spoken before this week about Burnley kind of becoming a little bit more expansive and showing a little bit more fragility in just so they can attack a little bit more. So Burnley are a little bit more attacking than they have been before, less pragmatic, which might give opportunities to players like Son and Kane to get some goal returns there. We've got Mason Mount in midfield there as well. He had a really good performance again. I don't know. I feel like Mason Mount is such a difficult one. I've held him through a few blanks. He had a really, really good game in game week 30, the second half to game week 36, and I think he can continue to do it. I think he's nailed on. I think Chelsea only need 1 point, and they are going to be aiming to get that 1 point in this game against Leicester, and then they're guaranteed top 4. So they're going to be really trying to do that, and Mount is going to be a crucial part of that. His fitness levels are insane, so he can play just every game there is. So yeah, unless he gets an injury in the FA Cup final, I think that he'll be absolutely fine and be a great asset against the Leicester team, who do occasionally show some defensive fragilities, to be fair. Let's see. It'll be Schmeichel versus Mount, won't it? Let's see who wins out in that one. We've got Saka next against Newcastle away. If I'm honest, I'm not totally convinced by this game. Particularly as an Arsenal fan, I'm kind of worried that this might be a game where we do drop points. So I don't know. I'm not convinced by this one. If anyone's going to score, though, you kind of feel like it might be Saka. Maybe Nketiah Nketiah. Aside from that, who's it going to be realistically? Unless we get a random, set piece goal or something like that. We've been pretty good from set pieces. But Newcastle at the same time have some very good defensive players in terms of set pieces. So I don't know. Newcastle, will they roll over? Will they? Are they on a beached team? Are they on the beach? It's an away game. Newcastle, when they're at home, have just played so well this season. I'm not convinced by this one, to be honest. But, if anyone's going to score, Saka's going to score, right? So, yeah, that's one to think about, I guess. We've got Kulusevski next against Burnley at home. Kulusevski's a player I really rate as well. Yes, he hasn't been doing amazingly in terms of goal returns over the past 4 or 5 game weeks, maybe. But he did get two assists in game week 34. Wasn't it, when he came off the bench? And no goal returns in game week 36, but he did create a lot of chances and take the odd shot as well, and it did look at times like he could get a goal return, particularly against Arsenal. It looked like he could have got a goal return there, but he didn't. But he is going to be super nailed on. We've got some much easier games for Spurs now, Burnley at home and then Norwich away, so I think this could be pretty good for Kulusevski. I can feel another one of his random hauls coming round the corner, or at least I'm hoping so. And finally up front, we've got Richarlison, who plays Brentford at home and Crystal Palace at home. Double game week, very, very nice. 2 home games. We know Everton are much better at home. We know Richarlison is on penalties. We know he's taking a decent amount of shots at the moment, particularly shots in the box, which is very, very nice indeed. And, he had some opportunities to score, but he did get an assist, at least in the first game of the double game week. So, yeah, I think he's going to do quite well this game week. I think a lot of people have a lot of faith in him. Maybe the faith has kind of shaken a little bit since he didn't score against Watford. But there was some close chances there where, you kind of thought it almost happened. Gordon slipped one through to Richarlison. That was kind of a nearly moment there. I feel like Richarlison could have got something out of that game. Potentially, you never know what's going to happen. We've got 2 home games, so let's see what happens there. I think it could be a good game week for Richarlison. I'm glad I did buy him, because now I've got him ready, and I know a lot of you guys are going to have Richarlison for this game week, and he's going to be considered one of the top priority targets, players to have, and maybe even players to captain in game week 37, to be fair, isn't he? Right, guys, on the bench, we've got Ramsdale against Newcastle away. I'm not going to play him because it's a single game week. There's no point in doing that. I've got Dan Burn as my first substitute there, just because, this home game against Arsenal, I don't know. I'm not 100% convinced that Arsenal are going to do the business there, to be honest, and I just worry a little bit, but maybe that's just Arsenal negativity. We've got Broja as well, and Richardson. Not Richarlison, Richardson. Both of those, well, Broja might play, but might not. Richardson is just not going to even get any game time whatsoever, probably. But he's nice and cheap, so he can just sit third on the bench. And there you go, that's the team. Right, let me talk about some kind of options that I have in terms of transfers. And I have to tell you guys, once again, I'm undecided, and once again, I'm probably just going to make a last-minute decision. But I've got some ideas. The safest option, and the option I'm going to leave for the purpose of this video, is just to not make transfers. That seems like the sensible option here. There's nothing I'm really, really passionate about in terms of transfer moves I'd like to make this week. It'll be more a case of doing something really interesting and just seeing if I can make a random play. And then that would be a situation where I would use my transfer this week, maybe even take a -4. But certainly going into game week 38 with 2 free transfers would be very beneficial, and I kind of have some ideas on how I would use those 2 free transfers in game week 38 as well. But as for game week 37, there are a few options. So I could do Saka to Zaha. That would be pretty good, I think, because we'd have Zaha then for his double game week. That might be quite nice. He's definitely the FOMO player this week, the player I'm most scared of not owning, Zaha. So it would be nice to have Zaha in my team somehow, but it's really kind of difficult to kind of figure out how I'm going to actually fit him in to my team. I like where do I go here? I'm not really sure. Saka out just because I don't like him for game week 37 that much, but then I'll want Saka back for 38 when he plays against Everton. I could take Kulusevski out, but he's got good fixtures. Mason Mount, but I think he's just in good form. He's playing very well. I'm not going to take out Salah. Could I take out Salah? If I did, I can maybe take out Salah and replace him with Zaha, and that would actually free up enough money for me to upgrade Broja on the bench up to maybe a Jamie Vardy or someone like that, and go do something really interesting. Go for Jamie Vardy or maybe a Danny Ings, and just try and go differential and do something a little bit interesting. But it would be removing Salah, which is a huge risk to take. And finally, the other move that I'm kind of considering, thinking about, is something I could do, is I don't have any Everton defensive cover, and I quite like the look of Mykolenko as a differential as well. So I could go Dan Burn to Mykolenko, and then play Mykolenko instead of probably Saka, and go 5 in defence, 4 in midfield, and 1 up front. So there are different options that I have at my disposal. Like I say, the team I have in front of me right now is not that bad, so I don't feel like I need to make make any transfers, and it would be nice to go into 38 with 2 free ones. So I guess overall, let's see what we do. I'm not sure yet, but for the sake of this video, we're going to leave it blank. But those are some of the options that I might end up going with. We'll see. What do you think about those? On captaincy, guys, I'm going to go for Son as my captain. I just have so much faith in Son at the moment. I think he's playing so well. He's in such good form, and I'm backing him to beat Salah for the golden boot as well. So yeah, let's do that. Stick the captain's armband on Son, despite the fact he's on a single game week. I think he's actually going to beat a lot of the single game week players. I think he's going to beat Richarlison. You know, who else have I got? Well, I've got Cash here. You know, would I captain Zaha if I brought him in? Probably not. Prefer Son. And vice captain can go on, let's put that on Richarlison. Why not? There we go. So that's what my team is probably going to look roughly like, barring any massive crazy transfer moves I decide to make at the last minute, basically. So there we have it, guys. That is the end of the video. If you did enjoy what you saw today, please do leave a like and do subscribe as well. If you are new around here and you want to watch some more FPL videos, and we're going into last week next week, aren't we? This will be the last video I make for game week 37, apart from the stream, which we will do on Sunday morning. Remember, it's a Sunday morning deadline. So yeah, I will be going live Sunday morning, so I'll see you there. And then it will be on to game week 38 content, which is going to be wild. It's going to be pretty crazy. You know, hopefully we can do loads and loads of videos all week for that final game week, and then we'll have a nice long break. But first of all, let's try and secure a nice good rank in this season. There we go, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you later, mates. Bye-bye.